What's up, and welcome to episode 8 of How to Make a Knife. I'm Mike with Alpha Blade and Forge.
Steve, Cutter Fabrications. What's up, man?
Not a lot, buddy. Listen, it was good to see you at the show. It was so nice. It's been a while, so
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
awesome.
It was.
But we'll get to
Dude,
that,
I
man. How's your?
can't remember a lot. I think it's probably been high school since I've seen Dana.
Yeah, graduation probably.
Probably, yeah.
That's funny. That was good.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
crazy.
nice, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a good
But,
show. It was a good show. But let's since we missed
Yeah,
a couple
let's-
weeks, let's talk about leading up into the show, man.
Yeah. We both agreed last week that maybe we don't take a night to record because we both only have a small amount of time each night to do anything, and we had to get ready for this show. So why don't you tell me how everything went for these, this week and a half, 2 weeks leading up to the show?
It was going pretty good. I'd gotten a lot of knives done. I didn't bring all the knives that I'd gotten hard into the show, but a lot of them were the same drop point anyway, so I wasn't too worried about that. I got 10 at the same drop point on the table, which was my goal. But leading up to it, it was going good until it wasn't, which I guess always seems to happen. And I wound up busting my ass, the last two nights, pulling an all-nighter Friday night, trying to fix some mistakes I made on the Kydex, and wound up going into the show with some Kydex I wasn't super happy with, but most of it was good. There was a couple pieces that I didn't even put out, but for the most part, I was pretty happy. It was just a mad rush. A little tired on Saturday. Probably looked like a crackhead sitting behind the table with all bags under my eyes,
I was gonna say more like heroin because you were just
Yeah,
you were like you were
there.
strung out, man. That was something. But yeah, I can't believe you got all of that together in the month and a half, 2 months that we had to get ready. That was awesome.
Yeah, I got some cool stuff done. I was real happy. Like at last minute, obviously I was going for the sword. That didn't happen. I was very ambitious with it, shooting for that, But I was able to get something out, which I was really happy with. That Hunter, that 1095 Hunter with the Hamon on it, man. I think that thing just came out real slick. Ironwood handle, man, looked beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, that was quite the looker, and I mean, obviously, that was the first thing that got purchased on your table.
That went quick, which was nice. I wish we
was nice.
knew like how we placed. I don't even know who won the fixed blade. Like they didn't really announce anything. I walked around. I didn't see any trophies, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought that was an interesting.
The guy who won was actually where we were. If you were to head to the right a few tables, it was a smaller man with gray hair, and he had won the fixed blade.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. Yeah.
And then Moore is the guy who won the folder, which was Ted Moore, I believe. And he was forwards and to the left a little bit. I went and I checked that knife out, and that was just some insane detail. I mean, hand details in every piece, like every inch of that folder was just, you could tell someone was working on it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. So how does the weeks leading up into your table, dude? Getting all your
it was
done.
A shit show, and I hated every minute of it. I just, I made that statement in one of the episodes when we were first talking about it. It's like, I want to have at least 12 new knives. And no matter how much I tried to justify the fact that I didn't need 12 new knives, there was something in my soul that would not let me sleep until I had those 12. So I did end up having 12 extra knives at the show for a total of 30. But it was just
table.
This thing. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was I was so nervous, and I said it a million times that I wouldn't have enough knives to fill the two tables, and it was perfect. I was so happy. But the same as you is where every night I'd come home from work after almost a 3-hour ride home, and I don't know if I said homework. I feel like I just said homework. Did I not? I was thinking homework.
No,
Anyway,
I don't think so.
all right. Fucking as I got home. Oh, I said home. got home, went to the garage, worked until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, went home, went into the house, showered, and went back to bed to wake up again. And that was my, 2 weeks straight was just doing that. And I had some complications. The little knives that I had made out of my Sanmai gave me some issues. Um,
Mm.
but thank God everything else went pretty smooth. And we fucking did it, man. We had a successful show.
Fucking made it, dude. Dude, I almost came with like 4 knives. I almost ditched all of those those drop points. I was like, fuck this shit.
Damn. Well, dude,
But
I'm
I
glad
was
you
like,
didn't.
dude, I
Your
came this
display was
far
great.
with them, bro. Came this far with them. I'm fixing them. Sitting there with a fucking heat gun in a hotel room at fucking until 3 a.m. fixing kayaks, dude. Hopefully there's no cameras in there, dude, or I ain't getting that security deposit back.
Dude, it's so funny because at the show when there was a little lull on that first day, you would take a knife and you were just kind of like sanding and fixing and doing things to a few things. And it's funny because Dana looks over and you have a knife under the table and your hand is just kind of like going at it under the table. And Dana was like, check this out.
Yo, what's he doing, dude?
Yeah, do you know what that looks like from the
Look
other
at
side of the table?
Look at this guy rubbing one out, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I
Trying
know
to
you
wake
love
himself
knives,
up
man,
over
but
there.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
rubbing that knife out, bro.
Polish it. Yeah, no. So yeah, by the skin of our
Yeah.
teeth. But I think as long as now we know, we take our time and we'll be very ready for this next show.
Yeah, dude, I learned a lot at this show, man. Like I learned, what kind of knives. I saw a lot of what people are carrying around in their hands and stuff. So yeah, I learned a lot, talked to a lot of good people, met some cool people, man. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Already designed a couple of different knives to throw in my game here, dude.
Yeah. It's so funny because coming home Sunday, exhausted, but like as you're saying, I immediately started working on stuff,
I did. I drew up a knife. I think Monday. It might have been Sunday night, but Sunday night or Monday morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Dana's an angel because
I drew
I
up
just
an
that whole
idea.
ride home.
I had something in my head. I just had to throw it on paper quick before I forgot it. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Dude, I know. Yeah, the whole ride home, I'm just chewing off her ear of what I'm going to do and this and that. And she must have been so sick of knives already. And then I just wouldn't shut the
Oh, I
fuck up.
bet. Yeah, after a whole weekend of it.
Yeah, it was great though. But all right, so you had expectations for this show, some idea in your head of what it was going to be, and now that we're through it, what were some things that you were impressed with? What were some things that maybe you thought would have been different? How'd that go?
I mean, I thought the whole thing was going to be different. I thought there was going to be, thinking it's, Easton, Pennsylvania. I'm thinking there's going to be quite a few outdoorsmen probably rolling through there, some fishermen. So that's why I went pretty heavy on the hunter, the drop points and, the 2 fillet knives. I was very surprised to not really see too many outdoorsmen. I saw some camo hats and I really tried to push them. I saw some people who were wearing, something that related to hunting, and I really tried to push some stuff to them. But yeah, to my surprise, man, there was really not that many outdoorsmen. A lot of collectors and people who were liking tactical things and shit like that, it seemed. So
Yeah, the first show that I had gone to, I had brought a whole bunch of EDCs and hunting knives and things with holsters for the same idea, and it
yeah,
was September. So I was like, oh, hunters want knives, but one thing I realized is for the most part, most hunters are already know what knife they want and already have a hunting knife. So that's what seemed to be because no one showed up looking for the hunting knife of their dreams, and that was a big thing for me. And that's actually why I went for choppers and big knives, which also didn't work out too well. Every big knife I made, I had to lug home, so that was another lesson. But yeah, not a lot of hunting.
yeah. The chef's knives and stuff. I mean, I had some interest in them, but not as much as I expected.
Yeah. The chef's knives and all the culinary is what I got the most attention from. I had a nice little layout of them, but really, honestly, it wasn't so much the chef's knife as it was the cleaver, the fillet knife, all those weird kitchen
Yeah.
knives, like But also the big thing is everyone loved the handle. So people who don't know too much about a knife resonate with a handle so much. And that's some important
Mhm.
information that I took away from this is half of the people showing up to my booth wanted to look at my handles, asking about, the colors and this and that. But like the handle was more important than the blade itself for the casuals walking around, which
Yep.
was awesome. Because I love the handle myself. So it was cool that I got that feedback. But I think next show I'm gonna just stick culinary for the most part because that was definitely what got the most attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I only had 2 culinary knives out, so, I mean, they got picked up, but
Yeah.
there weren't too many people asking about them. I was just kinda trying to forcefully tell them about it.
Yeah, hey, that's what we're there to do, there's
That's how yeah.
so many knife makers there. Which
Yeah, it was
actually
great to meet a lot of those people too, man.
oh, dude, yeah, we'll get to the community in a second, but I do wanna say there were less vendors there than in August. I don't know if it's an August to April
Mm.
thing, but there were or September, I keep saying August. But yeah, there were less people, less vendors, which is good and bad. It's good because we have a little less competition and more of a chance of our knives being picked up. But also less vendors
Yeah,
means maybe more people aren't coming. So
possibly yeah, possibly less people. Some people might go there for a specific vendor and, you know, try to get something from them and then see other stuff and pick it up, but
yeah.
I know some people who went there. Red King was saying there's some people who specifically went there to try to get one of his knives because they missed the drops.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Man,
which
I wish I
it's cool
had
to have
enough
that.
demand on my knives to do that.
Yeah, yeah. You'll get
That's
there,
awesome.
dude. I'm working on it too.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
One
how it
day,
all
man.
starts, right? Everything starts like this. It is what it is.
Yeah,
And
dude.
we're getting there. We got a lot of great feedback. And okay, so let's go to the community a little bit. You're saying Red King and Mac 10 and Bill and it's everybody there was stronger community than we could have ever asked for.
Yeah, yeah, and it's always. I mean, I love looking at other people's stuff. I don't. I've gone to knife shows in the past, but not since I've started making knives. So like whenever I do go out and I see some custom knives, I got to look at some custom knives that my girlfriend's family has from Germany, and that was really cool to check those out and compare them to
Mm,
mine and stuff like that. So it's always cool checking
nice.
out custom knives.
Yeah, absolutely. Not as many makers as there were resellers and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
what
noticed
would
that
you say?
too.
There were 12 to 16 makers, right? I mean, there weren't too many actual makers there. Under
Yeah, I
20?
would say somewhere's around there. Yeah, I would say maybe 20, 20 max. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still cool to see the old stuff. I still like seeing, stuff with history to it, but at the
yeah,
same time, I love picking up something somebody made that I can talk to them about it.
yeah, yeah. There, there was a booth there, Bennett Knives. Um, he had a knife there. It was a Damascus blade, and the handle was it was it was copper or some sort of like bronze or something, and it had like a Damascus design stamped into it across it, and it
Mm,
matched the Damascus of the blade. So I talked to him on it, and he ran it through a press that pressed the design in, shaped it to the handle, and filled it with resin to be his handle scale. So he made that all himself, and I was so deeply impressed by that. It
wow.
was so light, it looked amazing. So shout out to that. That was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen that I didn't know about of the weekend.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, fancy what
Yeah, I
people
picked
are
up.
doing out
I
there.
can't remember all the makers' names. I did take a couple cards from some of the stuff I saw. I did take one card because I like the way it was set up, and I kind of want to maybe set mine up similar. But I don't
Mm,
know. I'll have to figure that out. I need new cards. So
yeah. So I'm drinking these Budweisers here. I sent you the story, but I do want to mention driving home, I stopped to get myself some IPAs. It was a little pizza shop that had some beer in the corner. I grabbed Goose Island because I love my IPAs. And I'm driving home and I realize that they're all fucking Budweisers. So I paid
Oof, dude.
for Goose
Oof,
Island
dude.
and I got Budweisers. I'm not too upset. I'll drink anything, but
I mean,
by golly.
dude, it's a big difference when you're expecting a goose, dude. It's a big difference.
It was I was so disappointed, man. I really, but that's life. That's life. You just go with it. But anyway, as I crack the next one open, yeah. So all right. So the show, we go to the show. We both sold some knives. Everything was great. Positive feedback, critical, critical criticism or whatever the fuck. We got some feedback.
I love the feedback I got, man. I got great feedback from everybody who looked at my knives. It was nice to hear the feedback from Bill too. Mag 10.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's awesome having other knife makers look at your stuff and give you compliments. Actually, two of my drop points that sold were to two knife makers, which was a compliment to me within itself. And I was real stoked about that.
Yeah, because as knife makers, you're not going to this show to spend money. You're there to, sell your knives, not buy other people's knives.
I was tempted, dude. I was struggling not to buy anything, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I bought so much stabilized wood from Wood Dynamics.
Yeah,
and I'm so happy with it. So, I just can't wait to make knives just to get these handles on them. It's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna have to break out the old vacuum tank again and stabilize.
Yeah,
I got like 4 blocks of spalted maple down there and like a little bit of spalted tamarind down there that I'm gonna color up. Probably like double dye it. See if I can't figure that out.
Yeah, that'd be a fun experiment. And the cool thing about it is, worst comes to worst, the two colors just mix and you get one color anyway. But
I think you do one and you cure it in the oven and then you put it back in. Like I guess you do it because you're supposed to.
Oh, like actually dye it twice, double dye it. Okay.
Yeah, so I've only done it once, but I've never double dyed. I've only dyed it once. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll try it out. I'll play with it.
Yeah.
If it comes out,
absolutely.
It comes out. If it doesn't, fucking try a different way. But I'm pretty sure if you do it once, like do like halfway, so run it for like 12 hours in one, and then cure it, and then run it for 12 hours in a different color, and then cure that, I think it'll work.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm gonna find out, dude.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's cool though. Yeah, man. So one of the cool things that I had run into at the show was right at the end of Sunday, where there was maybe an hour or two left of the day. I ran into this guy who was offering services to help engineer folding knives. So I'm bringing this up.
I think I might have talked to the same guy.
Yeah, awesome. I could shout him out. Spectrum something.
Spectrum Energetics, dude.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome guy. He brought me to his booth. He showed me what he's currently making in engineering and the flipper. He had flippers. He had the thumb ones. He had titanium. He had everything. He has the CNC machines to do whatever it is. He went to engineering school. He knows exactly what to do. It was awesome. I'm bringing this up because when I was at his booth and talking to him, I had an old time knife maker come up and walk between us and kind of like insult him by mentioning, like, if you want a folding knife, what you got to do is you got to go talk to that maker down there. And I thought it was a little rude. Maybe he didn't even notice the guy there.
It's kind of a kick in the dick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. But then about 5 minutes later into our conversation, I had another knife maker show up and step between us and say, hey man, if you're trying to make folding knives, what you got to do is you got to talk to. And I don't know what caused this, if it was isolated incidences, if they talked about it and was like, hey, I don't know what happened, but I'm bringing this up because I've been thinking about it since it happened. And it's two things. One, the old time makers are hesitant to all of these shortcuts that are allowed now. So you can think of
Mm.
how, the forgers are always like, oh, these stock removal guys, they're just cutting a corner. Or the people who get their,
Why can't you do
their
both? Like why can't I forge a couple and fucking stock remove a couple? And why do I have to forge fucking everything?
right. Because it's like you're gonna buy a square piece of steel to hammer it flat when they also have the flat steel available. It's like it's also there too. So it's like
You
if
just
you
cut a
if
couple
you truly
corners off and grind a little slots and then make a handle and drill a couple holes and fucking call it a day. Or I could fucking hit it for a couple hours and forge a tip and
yeah. And now I gotta charge
well,
more
not a
money
couple
for
hours,
this
but
knife
probably an hour.
because because it's
Yeah.
more man hours onto it. So
Which I will do. I did notice some people like that brute to forge shit, so I will probably add more of that shit into my line for the next show.
yeah.
Make some stuff that
And I
still has
mean,
plenty of forge scale on it and shit like that.
yeah, and not to, again, I don't think this is cheating,
Or
but you
not
could
forge
take
scale, but marks.
stock removal and just hammer and decorate it and then quench it so it has the forge scale, I
Dude,
mean,
but what is that? That's fucking forging, you know? You're
yeah.
heating it
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
you're disforming the metal. You're forging it, dude.
You're
Now it's
right.
a
You're
forged knife.
you're very right on that. So, but yeah, even so the stabilized wood, I bought my wood already stabilized. You are going to do it yourself. Am I cheating by buying someone's awesome stabilized wood?
Dude,
So,
the only reason I'm doing it myself is because I have a fucking bought a vacuum tank and a vacuum fucking 2 years ago, and I have it, you know.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
else I would have bought all his shit. But I mean, I
Yeah.
probably will buy some of his shit eventually. But I have, dude, I have so much fucking black walnut down there. I have a shit ton of Brazilian walnut down there. I have a bunch of teak still, bunch of fucking ironwood, dude. I have some shit. And I got those all that spalted stuff too that I'm gonna fucking try double dyeing. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
start with, messing with those the spalted maples and stuff because I just love them. They look cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have so much fucking wood, so I couldn't justify really buying anything for handles, dude.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Absolutely.
Unless I'm buying carbon fiber. I did check out Mag 10 told me about his carbon fiber guy, Fat Carbon, because I was using Valley Composites on my last batch of knives, and it was okay. The carbon fiber is nice, but his is like that Fat Carbon is beautiful, dude. Some of those patterns, the camo pattern, I saw that. I was like, dude, oh shit, I gotta get me some of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Mag 10's knives. If I was to buy one knife at that show, I would buy Mag 10's. I've been trying to
Mm.
justify the purchase for a while now.
You should
But
get
it's
that
just,
friction folder, dude. I think that has your name on it. You check that thing out. It's
yeah,
beautiful, bro.
yeah,
Felt
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Dude, yeah, I know. I eventually will. It has to be, it can't be my business money. I want to do it all for pleasure. It's
Yeah,
got to be just,
I get
money
that.
from my house. So,
Yeah, I'm trying not to buy anybody's knives until like I'm established.
yeah, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I have the one that I carry every day. It's not even over. Oh, it is. Got that fucking
Yeah, that's nice.
titanium Brian Brown knives flipper.
Yeah, that's real nice.
That's my everyday for now. Take that thing to work. That thing. I mean, it holds up well, dude. Cuts up a lot of shit at work for me. But
Good. Yeah.
yeah. I use my knives, man. I don't fucking care what like. It's made to be a knife. I'm gonna use it. I don't necessarily. I believe all knives are art. I don't necessarily believe this art knife movement where people are making knives strictly for art and not fucking using them. Like, I don't know. I don't know. If
I
people are
I
buying a knife to not use it, dude, I think like it's
I
gay.
get it. I get it. But also I am nowhere in that realm of it's the same thing as like yachts is like I get why people buy yachts, but also like I can't even think about that process. Like I'm that's not a thing. But the art knives are
Yeah,
good to look at, and I'm glad someone's making them because that is one of my favorite things to scroll down on Instagram. But also, I don't
I
want anything
guess.
to
But
do with
dude,
that.
no. But like, I don't know, man. I see some of those knives. Dude, if I bought that, I'd fucking use it. Why
Oh
not?
yes,
It's a
but
fucking knife,
strictly
dude. If it's fucking made right, it should be fucking fine.
Yeah, I would only use those things just to flex. Like I have some people over. We had a few
Pull it out when your
drinks.
friends are over. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Put it with the
Yeah.
charcuterie board. It's this thing. Oh yeah,
Yeah, don't use it though, but look at it on the fucking plate. Make sure everything's cut up already so they don't touch that shit. But
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
bro, I
dude.
don't know. I don't know. It's gay.
Yeah, I get it. Maybe it's like an evolution where one day we both will be just like, oh yeah, my meteorite fucking stainless steel Damascus knife with the 14 million year old mammoth tusk is. Who
Dude,
knows?
I mean, bro, I don't know what that stuff is gonna be like, but I've used some buffalo horn. And even with a fucking mask on, dude, that shit is disgusting to fucking grind on, bro. So I could
That's
only
what I hear.
imagine what fucking fossilized mammoth tooth dug out of the fucking earth can smell like in your fucking
Yeah,
shop when you're trying to grind on that shit.
Mother
Gotta
Nature's
be
dirty
foul.
ass. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, dude,
Yeah,
nah, I don't know. It looks cool. I mean, great.
yeah,
Mammoth molars are cool looking, I guess, but
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
you gonna cut
Actually,
your
so
ham sandwich with that fucking thing, bro?
right, dude, exactly. I mean, that's the thing is like
Yo, what
that's
if a little of that dust falls out of there, bro? Now you're eating fucking.
ancient dust. Yeah. No,
Nah.
no, thank you. I actually, so I had bought a plate of faux tusk, so like fake mammoth tusk,
Okay.
and I made one of the kitchen knives out
Are you
of it,
talking
and
mammoth tusk or mammoth tooth? Because I've been seeing the mammoth tooth floating around lately, like the mammoth molar scales, dude.
yeah. So it was supposed to mimic a slice of tusk, I believe, of like like
Okay.
you take a slice out of it, you lay it flat to make the thing, and
Hmm.
that's kind of what the design.
Yeah.
And it's faux, it's fake of it, and I did not like the material. It looked very cheap and cartoony. It looked like a Spider-Man toy.
Mm. Oh
So I'm
shit.
very unhappy that it's on a nice knife of mine. I might actually end up just keeping it for myself to test out how the
Which one is that?
how the
Was that at the
finish
show?
is. Yeah, it's like I had the fillet knives, and then I had the bigger chef's knife that looked like a fillet knife, and one of the handles looked like butter or white chocolate, and then the other one looked like Spider-Man or something, and it was just like,
Oh, fuck. I don't know if I picked the other one up because I picked up like the marbly looking one.
okay, well, I just posted it on Instagram yesterday, so my latest post will show both of them,
Oh, the
and
red. It's got red in it, right?
the red, yes.
Okay, yeah, it
What do you?
does.
All right,
It
okay, so
looks
what do you
very
think of that?
venomish, dude.
I know Carnage. It's
Yeah,
it's Spider-Man
Carnage,
shit.
yeah, bro, yeah. Whatever,
I didn't
dude.
I didn't like it.
That's
I
how you
wasn't
get the
happy with it.
geeks, though. The nerds and stuff, bro. The nerds will love that shit.
Yeah,
You got to market
yeah,
it like it's Spider-Man shit, though.
yeah. I don't know. Can you do that?
That's what I would do, bro. Just market it like
Is
it's
that
some
legal?
Spider-Man shit, bro. Dude, they'll fucking buy that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm already in the nerd committee, so
Dude, me
oh my
too,
god,
bro.
yeah, dude. So, but
Pretty
yeah,
fucking nerdy.
my bone saw
I don't play
got more
Magic though.
attention. Well, you should, buddy.
You should.
I can make that happen for you,
Bro, I've played. I don't think I have a deck anymore. I might somewhere if I dug it up, but I don't think I have anything like that anymore. Dude, I played
Oof.
like a long time ago.
Well, now is a perfect time to get back to it. But anyway,
Ah,
so
dude, I
yeah,
have too many
the
hobbies.
the magic people were out in full force at that show. Everybody came up to talk magic. I talked more about
Oh
magic than
yeah, dude.
knives. Magic was the
I
topic.
heard you guys talking to like, dude, uh, about that bone saw so much. And it was just like, I hope somebody buys that fucking thing, dude. Like,
Yeah,
somebody
no
just
chance.
take it.
Yeah, and
Nah.
it
What do
was
you have that thing marked
wasn't
for?
even that.
1200 or
It was
something?
like 500. It was 500.
Oh, is that?
It
Oh,
wasn't even
wow.
that
That's
bad.
actually, dude.
For now, that's art.
Dude, somebody
That's
should
if I
scoop
was to
it,
say an art
dude.
knife, that's it. I know,
That's
I
an art
know.
knife. Yeah. I mean, like, I guess it's a similar thing with a sword. I mean, you're not fighting knights in the fucking woods, but my girl's a sword collector, so I guess she's got art knives technically, but I'll just have to fucking sword fight her, make her put them shits to use, dude.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Run them on the belt one day, get them nice and sharp. Just
Yeah,
get
dude.
them
I'll make
ready.
sure hers are fucking dulled out and I'll sharpen. No.
I don't know what happened.
Whoa.
It slipped. It was an accident. No, but yeah, dude. So the handles are fun to test out and this faux stuff and everything. But at the end of the day, I think I just like wood. I just like the stabilized wood is what I'm realizing. But
I love wood, man. I mean, I love the natural look of wood, but I mean, I do like the Carta too. I really do. And that G10, man. Like, I like how the G10 came out on like this style knife.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, okay, so let me just go back to the folding knife guy with Spectrum. So ultimately, what I was trying to get at is for all knife makers, this is the the thesis of it is don't ever think you have to be part of anything all the way. It's okay to take help. We are not a competition as much as we are a community. So if there are people with skills that can help you do what you're doing, take advantage of it. As long as you give them the credit, it's okay. And the perfect example is so when we were talking about him engineering my folding knife, I was like, is it cheating to not even be the design of it? And it's like I designed it. I don't know how the locking system works. And I'd be wasting too much time to do it. So like in my head, I'm like, is it okay if I have him do this and everything? But it's like it's a community. You take help from who you can. If I was to go to a class and get taught how it went, is that no different than just having this man help me out? Um, I don't know. So that was something that I've been thinking about since it happened, and wondering at what level is it okay and is it not okay. And the one more thing to say about that is the knife makers that I really like and respect. A lot of them don't cut the profile of their knives; they have them pre-cut, which is totally fine because
yeah,
cutting it
dude. I mean, when
yourself
you're making
is stupid.
quantity, you're trying to cut third it, dude. I mean, when I made those hunters, bro, I think I cut like somewhere around 30 of these fucking things out by hand, dude. And I
Yeah,
still got to
yeah,
make I still got about probably 15 of them or so to harden. Um, and I got a couple left from the show, so I'll definitely be posting those. But I'll definitely be posting um, that chef's knife with the Hamon on it first, man. I think that's gonna go quick. I did have a lot of interest in that, but I feel like people there didn't really know what the Hamon was. And
yeah.
the
You
first
were
day I
the
wasn't
only
really
person with
explaining it
Ramones.
well. Yeah, I looked around. I did look around.
Yeah,
The
maybe
the
own
guy
that.
who bought
Take it.
the 1095 Hunter, he knew what the Hamon was, which was pretty cool.
Mm.
And I was trying to I was like, dude, you got to get the set. I was like, take the other one too. It's right there. So I did try.
Yeah,
And at the same time, I didn't push it too heavily and explain it too well because I was just so shot Saturday. I just wasn't there, dude. I was out of it. Like you said, you saw
yeah,
me fucking probably
yeah,
sleeping on
man.
my
You were
feet.
hurting. Yeah, yeah. But no, the hormone is nice. I think you should kind of run that a little bit. More kind of put that into your
I'm
identity.
gonna do a run of 10 real soon.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do a clip of 5 and a clip of 5. Um, dude, I love them. I'll fucking keep them all if I have to. But I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna give one of them away. So I'm gonna make 10. Give one away. I'm not giving away the first one because I just came out so sick. I can't.
yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. No. So, all right. So, where was I going with this? So, the the knives are being cut out by other people. I also found out that a lot of the knife makers there have, send their knives out to get hardened, which
Yeah,
I always thought was
a
like
lot
I
of
have to
people do.
harden it myself. But a lot of people, it's simple and easy. You make the knife, you send it out, you get it hardened. Some people even get the knife cut and then get it sent to the hardener and get it hardened. So they don't even see it until they have a hardened piece of steel shaped like they want. And then
Yeah,
even you know, everything, every step of the knife can be sent out. It's okay. Is ultimately what I'm saying. I'm saying this more for myself than for the viewers, but maybe everyone can get a little bit of this. But it's okay. We are a
It is
fucking
okay.
community. Work together.
You
Get it done.
whatever fucking works for you is okay.
Yeah.
If you can spend that money on having somebody else do half of the job, and I'm not even saying half the job, but like, cutting it out. Like I just designed a knife that's going to be, a skeletonized drop point, EDC style knife that some of them are going to get power cord, some of them aren't. Some of them are just going to get a little power cord loop on them because they're going to be a little tiny, tuck away knives, hide them,
Yeah.
be able to hide them in your fucking belt and things like that. I'm going to put a lot of those pull dot straps on them and shit. So you can hide them in your belt and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have those all water jet cut out. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fucking sit there because there's a whole cutout on the inside. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a run of whatever makes the most sense. 30. I still got to talk with the guy about it. I'm still finishing up the CAD drawing of it. But once I get the CAD drawing of it to him, we'll be able to talk about it a little bit more on what makes sense quantity wise, and whatever makes sense quantity wise. That's just what I'm gonna do because they're not gonna fucking go bad. If I
Yeah.
have to put them in get a fucking dehumidifier case for them, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of
Yeah.
shit for it.
Easy
Yeah, dude,
enough.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. Even
And
just
I'll
dip
probably
it.
wind up doing those at a ADCRV too, so I might get them Cerakoted or hydro dipped. I want to look into the hydro dipping because I don't really hear too much about that, and it's like, dude, it seems like such a safe thing to do for knives. You're not, Cerakote, you add a little bit of heat, but I don't think anything to ruin any tempers. But like hydro dipping, you can fucking put any pattern you want basically on the knife.
So hydro dipping is kind of what I see where like there's a container of water and there's kind of a design on top, and as you roll it through, that design gets stuck onto it adheres.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make
Yep.
sure I knew what you were talking about there.
Yeah.
That's some cool stuff. Do you know anyone who
Dude,
does
I've
that?
had some gun barrels hydro dipped. I don't know.
Oh,
I've
really?
looked up how to do it because I've wanted to dip one of my other. I think I wanted to dip like a receiver or something on a gun. I can't remember. So I looked it up, and it's actually not as hard as it fucking seems.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
might honestly give that a go. But at the
Okay.
same time, I like the guy who's going to water jet it for me does Cerakoting, so might be able to work in some kind of deal doing that anyway. I mean, like I said, whatever makes sense for you. Then I'm gonna fucking figure it out. Once I talk to this guy and have all the drawings done, like I'm gonna figure it out, and whatever makes sense for me is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
If
Because
hydro
the
dipping
other
is something I'm gonna start teaching myself this year, then I'll figure it out. Also, do I want to hydro dip fucking 30 knives in a day? My arm's gonna be all kinds of colors, bro.
Yeah. 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 But that's it, is
We'll
just,
see.
don't be afraid to
Playing with
get some
stuff.
help in there. Yeah. Because the
Oh yeah,
ultimately
no.
you're not gonna there are certain things to where if you take that pride route of like, not unless I do it myself, it's never gonna happen. And again, I keep saying that this is kind of a conversation internally that I've had for myself, because like I'm like, well, if this guy helps me with this folder, and it's like, well, if this guy doesn't help you with your folder, you're not fucking doing it. It's not happening. It's
Yeah,
not gonna happen
yeah,
if you just sit around thinking about it because you're doing too many things. Take the help,
yep.
and you're
Because I
gonna get
want to
it.
do a
But also
frame
at the
lock
same time,
titanium folder. There's no way I'm gonna do that by myself.
yeah,
I'm
how
gonna need
can
a
you?
water
You
jet
know,
for that.
yeah, yeah. So
Don't have
ultimately,
one.
that was my lesson from the weekend, is just use the community. Everyone's offering something. Don't judge anybody if they're not doing it all themselves, and just you work together, you know. It's also the fact of like, well, sometimes when I'm making a knife, I'm like, well, this isn't very special because any knife maker can make this knife. But the thing is, no one else did make this knife. I made this knife. So, at that
Well,
table, it's mine. This is unique. So,
yeah. And one of the things I forget his name. I'm terrible with names. Mag 10, but I forget his actual name.
Colin.
Colin. Are they both named Colin? Red King
N-
named Colin too?
Red King is Ian.
Ian.
I
Oh
believe it's
fuck,
Ian.
dude. I'm so
I
fucking
believe it's
bad with
Ian.
names, dude. Because I
Dude,
thought
I
I
know.
thought Red King was Colin on whatever, but whatever. So I was talking to Colin from Mag 10, and like he had some really good insights like that. Like, dude, everybody can probably make like the same style knife, but they're not all gonna look the same. It's gonna look like your style, and it's gonna look like his style, and it's gonna look like his style. Like everybody's got their own kind of style figured out, especially by now. Like you got your, you've been in it for what, 3 years or so now, or whatever, two,
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
I've been in it for about almost 5, I think, 4.5, whatever. So we got our styles set pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be switching mine slightly and doing a little bit more hidden tang and a little bit like my chef's knives are going to start switching a little bit Japanese style.
Nice.
I think that's kind of the way I want to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still going to make Western styles with the full tangs and everything, but dude, I don't know, man. Especially when I'm doing the Hamones, man, I just fucking love that clean look, dude. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know,
I don't know,
for me
man. Like
personally,
this knife broke me, man. Like I got this knife done, and like I so badly almost don't even want to sell it, but like I have to. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
I'm gonna make one for myself. It's not this one, but fuck, man. Like, dude, I don't know. Just doing a Hamon and making it, with the Japanese hidden tang style. It just seems right for me.
Yeah. I hear you. There's those knives that resonate. That's the same way with I put that machete on my table again, and the whole time I did not want to sell it. And now that it's not
I
sold,
was surprised to see that out, dude.
you will never see it back out.
I
That is officially mine.
I I
100%.
heard, yeah, I heard
Yeah.
you kept that throwing knife too, dude.
I've been carrying it around. I'm
Have
carrying
you
that for work right now. It's my fucking throwing
threatening your
knife.
fucking coworkers, dude? Bro,
Dude,
I don't
there's
know
a
if you
big
saw
piece
my
of
fucking
plywood.
last video, bro, but I could fuck you up from about 10 feet away, dude.
Not quite about 6 feet away, but
yeah. Yeah, whatever.
close enough.
6'10", dude.
It's
Same shit.
fun. Any piece of plywood I pass, I throw it at. Any tree I pass, I throw it at. And it's good for
Got it,
testing
man.
purposes.
Got
I
it.
got to make sure that it
Absolutely,
can
dude.
withstand.
You're just extensive testing, yeah. Dude, I get it. I get it. And you tempered that thing, I'm assuming, at a pretty high temperature, so it could take a pretty decent beating.
I tempered it at 450
Yeah,
for
that's fairly
2
high.
hours and then 2 hours, and I made it out of O1 tool steel instead of like a high carbon. That way there was a little less
Okay.
chance of anything. So it is tool steel. It's not going to get as sharp, but at the end of the day, you're throwing it at shit. As long as you could cut cardboard and and string and all that stuff, you're throwing it. So I love it. I'm having fun with it. But yeah, I kept a lot of knives. I'm happy I didn't sell those. So
Yeah.
just means that we care.
Yep. Yeah, man.
We love our own work. That's
Yeah,
important. If you're making stuff you don't want to use yourself, then maybe stop making it.
dude, that's the thing, and that's the thing with those drop points, man. Like I designed them specifically like around deer hunting, and like I wanted a small enough knife that you could just throw around, throw in a pack, throw in your belt, throw in your fucking backpack, throw wherever. That's another reason why I fucking spent $15 per clip on those fucking ulti clips.
Yeah.
Or whatever, $12, $12.99. They're a great fucking clip, dude. You clip that thing on something, it ain't fucking coming off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's great, but just wasn't the crowd. But I mean, I got a bunch of friends who want them, the hunting community, and not in the hunting community. Just a couple of friends who want to support the business, which is cool. But I got a bunch of friends who are hunters who are trying to get them. So it's good. It's I like like I said, a lot of my business has just been online through friends and friends of friends and stuff like that. So
yeah, same.
it's good, but I got to start trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah. For like I said, for right now, 2024 is let me get every knife I possibly can to friends and family. If you want a knife from me, now's the time to grab it. While it's cheap, while I'm still making them, as much as possible and grab it. Because 2025, I'm going to have different prices and everything. All right, let's get into it.
My prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, easily.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's talk about pricing. So we had a whole episode on pricing. We went to the show. We priced out our knives.
Did you
I
stay true
had,
to your pricing? What you
I
talked about on the
did,
episode?
I did. I kept
Mhm.
all my prices sub 200, and I listed them pretty much what I list them for on my Insta, but I also had big black and white 3D price tags for every single knife on the
Yeah.
table. And I also had two huge signs that said, buy two, get $40 off.
Yeah.
And it kind of made some waves at the show. I had a lot of people, knife makers, customers, and such, talk to me about it positively, negatively, critically, of maybe my prices are too low. And, in the back breath of like, we're not a warehouse or bazaar. What is this buy two get 40 off bullshit? Like, so I think I did
It's
something a
my
little
table. Mind your
taboo.
fucking business. No.
Well, that's ultimately what it is I did something taboo, and I didn't realize how taboo until the feedback was, hey kid, what the fuck are you doing, a little bit.
Yeah, what's going on
Um
here?
and I hear them, and I will be raising my prices a little bit. However, I'm not gonna raise them that much. I need income flow more than I need the prestige of an expensive sale. I'm at the mercy of my customers right now, and I wish
Yeah.
I had the ability and finances to say, I'll price it at this price, and I'll wait a year if it takes a year to sell it at that price. I'm unfortunately, it's one of those like, I'll take 20 off if you buy it today. And I hate being in this position,
I'll
but I
give you
I think we all
$20
got
if
to
you
be here.
buy it right now. No.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Take it
pay you
free
to
if you
take it.
if
Get it.
just go like all my Instagram pages and you can have it for free. But it
Oh
was,
shit.
again, that's another thing that my first show, I couldn't even process what was happening, so I didn't even think about prices, and I had the same prices last show as this show, but this show, as everyone's more comfortable with me and I'm more comfortable, it was just kind of that, maybe you're eating our lunch a little bit, so fucking, you know, get with it. So that's something for me to think about. And as we get to the next show, I do plan on raising it, but I don't know how much because I still need to push. It was successful. And even if I'm leaving money on the table, at least I'm bringing some home for me to fucking pay bills. So,
Yeah, and keep going with what you're doing. I mean, don't let anybody bully you around. Your fucking prices are your fucking prices. What works for you is what works for you. I
of
mean,
course,
like,
but I also
I,
respect the
I
advice.
find that I respect the advice, but at the same time, I find that pretty fucking ballsy to tell me what I can charge, what I'm charging for my fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I noticed that some of my prices were a little low too, on that 1095 Hunter that sold immediately. You know, I marked it at 250, and I thought that was pretty decent. Like,
Yeah.
I probably could have went up on that, but I mean, there's a lot of work into that thing with the brass but dude,
Yeah. And
man, I don't
iron
know.
wood
It
is
came out
not cheap.
pretty
That's the one
beautiful. I
thing
wish I
for
fucking took more pictures of it. That's the only thing I regret, dude. Because like, I finished it, I took a picture like this in my hand, and I set it up at the show, and it fucking got sold. And I'm just like, dude, I don't have one good picture of that at all, at all.
that just goes to prove how hard you worked for this show, that you literally didn't even have time to do a little photo op with that fucking glorious knife. I mean,
Dude, that thing, I finished that thing. I actually oiled that thing up Thursday night before I went and did all the kydex, then did all the kydex, and yeah, man, dude, that I was really happy with that thing. And to be honest, I finished it, and I was looking at that picture of it, and I guess maybe it was just the way I was holding it in that picture. I was looking at it later that night while I was fucking with the kydex, and I'm like, shit, man, I might shorten that handle because it just seems a little long. And then I got back there the next
no.
day and picked it up again, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is fucking
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't, man, because that's honestly, that was the selling point. It felt so good in the hand. I mean,
It was
that handle
comfortable,
was
man.
so
And I
comfortable.
usually don't like putting like too many finger grooves in there too low because it's tough, but like it fit really nice. I don't know, it just felt nice.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was one for the books, and I'm glad that sold. And as someone's going to be, using that. That's just my favorite part of it. Is just to
Yeah.
think of everyone using it. It makes me nervous, but
Yeah.
also it's just
I know.
great to know
No,
people have it.
oh, it makes me so happy. I hope they use the fuck out of it too. And like, what makes me even happier too is like, I'm finished that knife and it's like, dude, there's no way I can put this in a piece of Kydex. I'll fucking, ugh, I'd quit right now. I'd have to walk away. I was like, I
Yeah.
hope somebody just likes it and takes it, or there's some kind of leather I can put it in there. And luckily, the guy who saw it he went right over to the leather guy and brought some cases back, and it slid right in this nice fucking tri-weave leather, dude. And I was like, dude, if you don't take this, I don't know what's going on here. To be honest, if he didn't buy that, I was going over to that leather guy and I was buying that fucking sheath because it
Because
fit, dude. It slid in beautifully, and I was like, dude, it was made for it.
I watched him slide it in. I'm sitting there. I watched that whole transaction as he slid it in my head. I'm like, oh, it was so
Yeah, dude,
good.
literally the same sound I made in my head. I was like, oh, dude,
Yeah,
fucking hell.
that's a match made in heaven. That was awesome. That was meant to be.
Yeah, it just worked. And he was super happy, man. Like he just kept looking at it, and he walked by a couple times afterwards too, and expressed how happy he was. So that made me feel pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, so we're at 50 minutes. Let's just quickly move on to after the show, what our plans are moving forwards. But let me also just say one thing for the price of, as I'm talking about the prices, people mention my prices are too cheap. I'm not saying this in any criticism. Besides, ultimately my takeaway is people believe in what we're doing, what I'm doing, and it was always said of like, you're worth it. You're worth the ability to raise your prices, and I get that and I appreciate it. But ultimately, what I'm saying is, I have $0 for my business, and I will take a less profit as long as it is profit and flow. And to anybody who's running a small business, understand that sometimes, to take
And
that slight loss just to keep going, because you can't have your
it's
pride,
not
you can't
even
be
that right
disconnected.
now either. Like the other thing with it too is we're so fucking new that we just
Yes.
need to get our fucking shit in people's hands and people talking
Yes.
a little bit about us. You know what I mean? So I do understand that aspect of having lower prices just to get as many as you fucking can out there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like I'm selling Nitro V drop points for fucking $150 in a sheath. That should probably be like
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I
And
mean, I'm selling
for right
mine
now,
in a sheath for that. Yeah. That's a
yeah.
good price. Honestly, I might buy one of your fucking
Yeah.
knives. That's good.
That's a this year price only. That's going up. It's gonna be $200 next year. And like, dude, and especially after the fucking feedback from the two knife makers who actually purchased them, plus all the other knife makers, man. It was fantastic feedback. So it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I'll keep it where I'm at this year just for the sake of that's what I said I was gonna do. But
Yeah.
next year, I mean, the Hamon chef's knife, I did not. I kept my price right where I wanted to on that, $400, and
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's gonna get posted up this week. I got to figure out exactly how I want to post that. Beat the algorithm somehow.
Yeah.
So probably got to figure out some way to take a video and trick the old fucking Instagram algorithm. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
I found out that
Dick
I'm
pics or
not being
something. No.
recommended. Honestly, you could
Dude,
probably put your
you're
dick on
never
there, and
gonna,
that's more acceptable than a knife. So
100%, 100%. Yeah, dude, I'll tuck my dick in between my legs and then I'll fucking get boosted.
that's gonna be my Christmas calendar, is just my dick next to all my knives.
Jesus.
It's it. Get ready,
Dude,
guys. It's gonna be
get
a good
ready
one.
for the calendar, dude. The calendars are dropping.
I'm gonna make all
Just
the
take
knives
just
really
take pictures
small
and
too, to make my dick just look bigger.
just all of the pictures of knife is in place of your dick, but just a
Yeah.
really small knife. Can't
Yeah.
even like
But
hold it.
yeah, that'll be
Shit.
for the winter days.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the prices will go up, and like you said, it has to be. cheap. Because also the other thing too is I'm all about repetition. Everything in my life that I'm trying to get better at, whether I'll go right to Magic. I play as many Magic
That's
games as
how
I
it
can
is with
because
everything, though.
repetition is how you do it. So if I'm making all these knives for the repetition of it, and I am trying to sell them so they're quality, I have to make sure that they're moving. Otherwise, I'm gonna have this pile of knives that I'm making. They're professional, they're all good and everything, but it's for me to constantly get better. So I gotta sell them in order to keep on making them because there's gonna be that point where if I'm not
Yeah.
selling them, I can't afford to make more. So I'll work on
Yep.
it. I hear everybody loud and clear. I hear you. I'm working on it, and we'll move forwards. But
Dude, the other thing, like I've been saying probably since I've started, like if I make a shitty knife, it goes, I'm like goes in a pile. I'm gonna make a wind chime one day, but that's beyond the point. But if I make a good knife, dude, I don't mind holding on to it as long as it's in a well kept area. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you can even just put it in a box with some desiccant bags, and as long as you have some kind of moisture wicking stuff, even my stainless stuff, dude, I'll try to put it in. I'll have some desiccant bags around. Get them on Amazon, or you can get like big size ones too for like a whole gun case. So I'll probably just like wind up purchasing like some kind of toolbox type thing, rolling toolbox type thing that I could store my knives in and just throw some desiccant in there and call it a fucking day. Not have to worry about them until not till next show, but
yeah. I have mine behind, and I don't really put mine anywhere special. I just kind of leave them around, and it works. You put a little oil on it, you put it in a corner, it'll last
yeah,
months. So.
yeah, it's fine.
But, all right. So, do you have any now that we're through the show? You've drawn up some stuff. Is there any big takeaways moving forwards? Is there like a ultimate theme moving forwards that you're looking to do?
There's no theme. There's no theme. I'm still gonna stick with what I love doing, and what I love doing is making beautiful kitchen tools that are made to be used. And I love helping out my fellow hunters who want a good knife in the woods that's not gonna fail them. I'm still gonna
Yeah.
keep doing that shit, and I'm gonna keep designing new knives for the woods, which I actually just designed a skeletonized. I think I talked about it a little bit before. A skeletonized drop point. That some of them are just gonna be um, bare bones with a a little bit of paracord hanging off tied off in the back, and some of them are actually going to have a paracord wrapped through the handle. So that's going to be a fun upcoming project. And then I designed like a kukri styled fighting knife, but there's a little bit of twists on that one. And I designed like a tanto style fighting knife, both full tang. So I'm excited to play around with those. I'll probably do a run of 5 of each at first and just kind of see how that goes. If I get 3 or 4 out of each run, then I'll be super happy with that. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed. A lot of people like fighting style knives, murdery looking shit. Fucking
Oh yeah,
Nightmare
yeah,
Before Christmas. I mean, no, Jason type shit.
yeah, yeah. Brother, hold on 1 second. Longest piss of my life, and then my children hug me. How we doing, man? All right.
Shit.
All right. But yeah, it's funny that you joke about the people like the murderous weapons, but yeah, for sure, knife guys, they loved, and
Yeah,
the ladies were
collectors and
loving
ladies.
the
Yeah.
aggressive weapons, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I designed like I said, I designed that, dude. I had to, like, driving home, I had this picture in my head, and I had to design that like kukri style fighter. And just the next morning, I was thinking, man, like I've always wanted to do something tanto based, and so I designed a tanto too. So pretty
Well,
excited for
they
those. And
they
then I'll
look
eventually
awesome.
probably throw a curved tanto in there too, because that'll prep me for making a wakizashi, just so I can get used to that grinding style.
Right, interesting. Now, do you the designs that you made? Do you intend on making like a bunch of them, or just one ofs for the moment?
No, I'll do a run of 5 of each probably to start. I mean, the one that I'm designing on CAD, I'm gonna cut probably 30 of those at the bare
Right.
minimum, to start with. So that one is gonna be set in stone. Like that's gonna be that. Like however it's designed is gonna be that. And then other than that, yeah, the other two will probably be a run of 5 of each. Just because I always make at least 2 of something when I'm trying to make something especially new. Just in case I fuck one up.
Yeah, that's smart. That's
Or
the way to
learn
do it.
something along the way and like, okay, I should do it this way instead of that way. It'd probably be a little bit easier. And then try that other way on the second one, kind of see which one comes out better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for me personally, honestly, I think moving forwards for my next show, I am setting it up to have my buddy Kevin cut my knives for me. They're going to be plasma cut, um, just to get
All of
all
them?
of mine. Yeah, I'm going to design them all up on Illustrator. I'm going to send it to him, and my entire next order of bread knives, fillet knives, kitchen knives, veggie choppers, everything. I'm going to have him cut everything for me, and that again goes back to the if you can cut a corner, do it. And my biggest issue right now is my garage is a mess, and this is also my home garage, and I have steel everywhere. So if I could take away all of the profiling, that's going to be a lot of mess and a lot of angle grinder wheels and a lot of 36 grit belts that I'm going to save a lot of money on. So if I can help
You're
Kevin
gonna
and
probably
help
spend
me,
a little bit, but you're gonna save a bit too at the same time.
yeah. And to just get them all in, all they're consistent, they're going to be comfortable, and it's just to put that little bit more consistency in. And again, it's nothing special. Anybody can cut a piece of steel into a shape, so it's not like I'm
Yep.
losing some of the art to this, especially since a lot of them I've already
No,
made.
it's
But
it's still your fucking shape too, dude.
yeah,
Like you're
absolutely. It's
designing
just
the shape how you like it. Like I can make a chef's knife that's gonna look nothing like your fucking chef's knife, which I
and it
do.
doesn't. It
Our
really doesn't.
chef's
We
knife
have
look
two very
nothing. Our
different
fillet
designs.
knife's looking nothing alike.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. It's
It's
like
awesome. Like,
boobs.
yeah, dude, like you could tell 10 makers, yo, go each one of you go make a chef's knife.
Yeah.
You'll come back and see all kinds of crazy shit. Yep,
Yeah, the different
that's
thickness
what's
of
cool, man.
blades, different
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
profiles.
yeah.
That's another thing too.
And that
I've
was
been
really
told a
cool
lot.
about
Go ahead.
you going.
Oh, I was just gonna say this is the second year where people keep telling me like, "Hey, maybe your kitchen knives can be thinner." And it's like I don't know
Yeah,
how thin I really want to get it, but also at the same time, like if everyone's saying that, maybe I should thin them out a little bit. But
I mean, dude, even my drop point hunters, I take that edge to 10,000 or less before I put an
yeah,
edge on it. The
yeah,
fucking chef's knives, I go all the way to 0 because it's easier for me to keep everything straight that way.
yeah.
That's just me. But I go all the way to 0 on my chef's knives, and then I'll take a stone and even it out before I put an edge on it, and I'm like
Oh,
maybe like
that's
a
smart.
2,000th flat onto it, and that's
Damn.
about it.
That okay. So
My fillet
that is
knives, I grind to a 0, and then I put the edge on without putting a flat onto it.
that is that's some good advice right there. So anyone who's listening to that, take a minute to really process that because that's always my fear is if I bring it to a 0 every once in a while, something might start to burr before I've
Which
gotten
is
another
fine.
part of the blade at the 0, which happens. And then, like you said, then you flatten it. And even though it's not full 0,
Stone,
it's
yeah,
pretty
use the
close to
stone.
fucking 0. So
It's
that
pretty
makes sense.
close, yeah. I mean, if you
Yeah.
really want to, I mean, if it's that bad too, dude, you got the stone, bro. Like I
Yeah.
use just the Jeswing tool stones, tool and die stones, and if you have a high spot in the blade that you really don't like and you're afraid to fix it on the grinder, you fucking stone it from there. You stone the whole bevel,
Awesome.
and then
Yeah.
make it even. Dude,
Yeah.
I swear by them Jeswing stones, man. They're fucking. I hope I'm saying it right. It's GESSWEIN, and they're like a tool and die stone, and they come in all different sizes, but they're little hand stones, man. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Great for
Oh,
fixing little
awesome.
shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll continue to bring them down. All my other knives I think are a good thickness, but specifically the chef's knives, it seems like people want them as thin as possible, which makes sense
Yeah,
because
they
that's
say,
stuff you're going to
thin
sharpen.
to win,
So
but
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't go crazy thin as some of these guys. I mean, my fillet knives I did. I mean, I put a lot of flex into these things, dude. Like,
Jesus, yeah.
um,
Look at that.
but I mean, dude, that's even the thicker one too. The fucking other one has flex, bro. But the other ones, yeah, dude, I get them pretty thin at the tip, but for the most part, I try to keep that 065 spine most of the way down.
Yeah. It's funny, a woman that purchased one of my fillet knives, she was like, "Does it flex?" I was like, "Yeah, it'll flex, enough." And she's like, "Can you show me?" I said, "Just do it." I'm like, "If you break my knife trying to flex it, then maybe I shouldn't be selling it in the first place." It's like, just get in there. I promise it's good stuff. And she did end up purchasing it. So you know what she
Nice,
did?
yeah.
She took advantage of the 2 for 1, the 2 buy 2 get 40 off deal. Do you know that
There
I
you go, dude.
actually, out of all my sales, only one sale wasn't the buy 2 for 40 off? That
Oh, is that
thing,
right?
that stupid sign that I put up was what helped me so much. And as much as it is, I think that'll be my thing. That's the Alpha Blade fucking show special. Show up, show up to my booth, and you
Show
get $40 off
special.
every buy 2.
Nah, I ain't running those specials. Well, I mean, every knife this year that I sell this year is on special. So get
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
one this
yeah.
year, dude.
Perpetual special all year. Get in there. I hear you. No, that's good, man. Well,
Yeah,
listen,
dude.
I'm so happy that we got back on here. It was so nice seeing you, man. I know these past 2 weeks have been hell, but we made it through, and we have a
Dude, we
bright
made it, bro.
knife future ahead of us. Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see what you start working on. So, to be honest, for me personally, I am not going to be working on many knives. I have 5 knives that I need to make. I have an order of 3 knife
Yeah, me too.
set, a folder, and a bread knife, and a fucking. Okay, so I have a few orders, but once that's all done,
Yeah, I have like
I
6
plan on
drop points and a
taking.
fucking slicer to make, or
I'm
7
excited for
drop
the
points and a
slicer.
slicer. Dude,
Definitely,
yeah,
that'll
I'm
be
gonna
lit.
I designed one, but I'm gonna redesign it, I think, because I was going like like a Tonto style slicer. I thought it was gonna be cool, but I mean, which is cool, but I'm not gonna do that now. I think I'm gonna change it. We'll
Okay.
see. I don't know.
Hey,
Who knows? Who knows?
yeah, yeah, get in there. But my goal is in it, and we'll talk about it more in the future, is my journey to get some dust collection system in my garage. That's my number one goal. I'm gonna get a dumpster, I'm gonna clean out my garage, I'm gonna sweep everything out, and I'm gonna try to get a dust system because my garage is a mess. I didn't post it. I said I would. I sent it to you personally. You saw my garage. It's a shit show. Maybe I do post it
Yeah,
just
it's
to
good.
shame myself into cleaning it.
Dude, all I'm happy about is that you fucking cemented that damn forge, dude.
I did. I rigidized it. Now the rigidizer was still wet when I put on the cement, but
Doesn't matter.
it'll all dry.
Doesn't matter.
It'll
You
all
don't
fucking
even
dry.
yeah, it's fine. You don't even really need that rigidizer. But like now just when you first fire it up, you want to fire it up really slow. I heated mine for quite a while with like a handheld propane torch before I fired it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, do you have fire bricks at the base of your forge, or is it
Nah,
just
fire
the
bricks
cement?
fucking heat. If I try to use the cement because the fire bricks suck up more heat than the cement.
Okay, because
I'll use
so
fire
I've always
bricks to
had.
block the heat from escaping like on the outside, but I try not to really use the fire bricks on the.
Oh,
They seem to suck up a lot
interesting.
of heat for me.
Interesting. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's
They
just
they
my fire
definitely
bricks,
do.
but I do have some new fire bricks that I should try out, but
Because
I
I
don't
have
really
two
have an
fire
issue
bricks at the
with.
base, so that when
Okay,
my direct flame hits fire brick, and then it doesn't actually hit anything. So I should be all right. I'll just start running it. Um,
yeah.
are yours thin? Like,
What's
do you
that?
have thin little fire? Do you have thin fire bricks? Because I bought
No,
some
I would
bricks
say
that
they're
were
probably
super
inch.
thick, but oh, okay, okay, all right, cool.
Oh, I had some fucking when I first started, I had like 3-inch thick blocks, dude, and they were nice,
Hmm.
but like, dude, like I said, they fucking suck the heat out of fucking shit, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The 3-inch ones, I feel like I was never to hold temperature in there because they were just fucking it up. But
Dude,
no, I am.
my
I
first
actually
forge, the
have.
one that I built, like, was for making like swords, dude. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, it worked. I made a lot of knives out of it, but like, it, dude, I sucked propane up in that fucking thing, dude, just to keep it at temp.
Yeah, that's like trying to run a baseboard heater in a vaulted living room, you know. So you're
Yeah.
never gonna heat it
Oh,
up.
dude,
It's just going
and I thought it
upstairs.
was like fun and cool to be like forging when it was like snowing and shit, dude. And I'm like, can't fucking keep
Yes.
anything fucking hot out here, dude. It's like cool, I
Yeah.
guess, but like nostalgic and like
Hell yeah.
stupid though.
I tell you, I do most of my forging in the fucking dead of winter, and I hate it. It's so cold out there, and you got to do what you got to
It's
do.
tough to keep. Yeah, I mean, when I'm
And the
doing it, like,
oil is
yeah,
so cold, and your
yeah.
anvil's so cold, and nothing. The
Well,
last
dude,
thing
I keep
anything
like a
wants is hot steel
rosebud
on it.
going on my anvil just
Mm.
so I can get a couple good whacks. Because if I don't rosebud my anvil, like, and keep it going,
Okay, so
my
explain
anvil
what
gets too
rosebud
cold.
is.
Like, so you can just you'd have to get an extra propane tank, and you know, they sell like this attachment up for a propane tank that's supposedly for weeds, but it's a fucking torch, dude. You can buy something like that. I'll send you a link. It's literally like a weed eater, but it's a fucking blowtorch for a fat propane tank. Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, they make a true rosebud is on an oxyacetylene torch, but you don't need all that shit. But like just a good, I'll send you a link. It's a
Okay.
fucking big handled, you know, it's, I don't know why they make it for weeds, but it's ridiculously
For weeds. All right.
overkill, dude. I'll show you.
All
I'll show
right.
you.
Hey.
It's great.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. What I
But yeah, I
typically
keep that
do is
thing. I just keep that thing running on my anvil because if I don't, dude, I'm afraid shit's gonna crack or whatever.
yeah, dude. Because I mean, you know, you take something out that's red hot, you put it on a cold anvil, and suddenly you
Yeah,
get those designs that
and
kind of look
half
like it
of it's
almost tried
hot.
to.
Like,
Yeah, it tried to quench itself almost on that thing on one side, and you know, it's like, oh. So what I do is I have a big plate of steel that I put in my forge. As soon as I start my forge, I just throw that steel in. And once my forge is reaching temperature, I take that piece of steel out and I just lay it on my anvil. And I let this
yeah,
red hot piece of steel just sit on my anvil the entire time. And right before I go to move my blade on to do whatever I got to do, I slap that piece of steel off, and my anvil should be, you know, at least decent temperature. That's that's how I
yeah. The
handle it.
anvil will suck a lot of heat out of that fucking thing. But
So
yeah, no,
much,
that's
yeah.
another good way to handle it because I've done something similar. I just didn't have anything thick enough.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it was a great fucking weekend. It was great talking to you, man. I hope
Yeah, dude.
someone gets
Good
something out
seeing
of
you. Good
some of
meeting
this.
everyone.
Grab the community,
I
take
mean,
advantage
dude.
of
I
it all.
mean, hopefully they just realize we're selling good shit for cheap fucking prices right now, and they should jump on it.
Yeah, you guys are so lucky. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
You don't know how lucky you are getting these knives for basically free.
Yeah, yeah. Because grab them now. Because 10 years from now, you know that
Dude,
we'll be there. We'll still be there.
we're
Consistency, baby.
dude. 10 years from now, you're waiting too long, dude. At 5 years, 5 years from now, I'll be making knives for almost 10 years. Dude,
Hey,
that's
man.
crazy
There
to
you
think
go.
about. That's crazy
Right?
to
I
think
mean,
about.
10 years. That's almost an entire fucking
Yeah. And it wasn't until
schooling
last year where I
experience.
decided to like really try to throw it out there. Get them out. I just sold to friends and shit, Facebook people for
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. This was
Now I'm
kind of
trying to
all
do
meant to be.
production type shit, dude.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. When I went to go get my LLC, I had reached out to you, and you had just happened to been moving towards this, you know, this pursuit. It happened at the same time for us. It's almost like you know, it was just in the cards where we both decided, hey man, let's see how far we could take this. And then
Yeah.
here we are podcasting, doing shows, and this is
Yeah.
this is the path. We're
That's why I
doing
spent
it
all last year
one day at a
fucking
time.
testing too. I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure I was selling good shit, especially with that oven and everything. Like, I know that it's, the temperature should be right and everything like that. But like, even though I got the recipes from uh, the websites from the steel companies that made them, I've adjusted them a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking happy that I sat there and did all the right shit. And another thing I've learned is I'm going to start, and this is a good tip for everyone, including yourself. If you're tempering in a kitchen oven or a toaster oven, put that shit in some sand, dude. Get a little tray and put your knives in some sand. It'll help with the fluctuation. When the oven's ramping up to keep temperature, it gets really fucking hot, and it could get your knives really fucking hot. You keep better temperature in the sand.
Interesting. So, okay, so put your knives in the sand prior to it, prior to the temper,
But
or post temper? What do you mean?
no, you're tempering. The whole tempering process is in sand.
Really?
You're putting sand in a tray, and you're putting your knives. Yeah, because I started doing this because I noticed I did the knives that were in the oven together, that came out and were quenched together and then went into the temper oven together. I've noticed that some of them could be two Rockwell difference, which
Hmm.
isn't crazy, but like a 61 to a 63 is cool, but like a 58 to a 61 is iffy, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to combat that, and one of the things I learned is sand will help keep the thermals steady.
That's actually really good info. Okay, that's good to know, and I will try to find a way to incorporate it because that is something that I try to avoid as well. And I have noticed it where I quench something, it is rock hard. And when I pull it out and I run my files on it, that it is not 60 hardness at all. And when I run the 55, it's not that the 55 is ripping it up, but it's almost tearing it up, which is like, I don't want a 55, So
Yeah, yeah.
that's good to know because I know it came out of the quench fine and then the temper system might have done it up. And again, I bought mine, it was a $5 toaster oven. So I was also told you can buy the oven temperatures, oven thermometers super cheap. I always thought of it as like a
Yeah.
thermocoupler for a kiln, but I mean, that's reaching temperatures
Nah,
that you shouldn't be. You can
that's
get
like
them real
fucking,
cheap
yeah,
for ovens.
2,100 degrees, dude. If your fucking oven's hitting that, your oven's
Yeah.
fucking broke, dude.
Yeah. Unplug it because that bitch is about to start a fire.
Yeah, dude, you better get the hell out that house, bro.
Yeah, man. Uh, all right. Well, listen, I gotta go do my shit. We have a long week ahead of us. We both have a ton of knives to make. I'm actually heading right out to my garage. I'm staring it out right now. I don't know if you noticed, I'm in a new room now. But I got to get out there. I want to see how that cement went. Make sure there's no cracks. That way tomorrow I can start, getting everything quenched and ready. So,
Yeah.
brother, until next week, you stay sharp, man.
Stay sharp, man. Always good talking to you.
Absolutely.